Our next step is going to be twining our base. So I have my tall base here already made and ready to be twined. I also have my twine soaking in some water. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. And as you can see, our twine's very long. So our first step is to find the two ends, match them up together. And once those ends are matched, we're gonna go ahead and follow that with our fingers and create a loop at the end, just like this. Once I have that loop there, I'm gonna go ahead and pinch it so it's a tight little loop. This loop is going to go onto our third spoke. So I'm gonna start with the side with 5 spokes. And our third one, 1, 2, 3, is always in the middle. So I'm gonna slide this loop onto that third spoke all the way down to the base of the perimeter. So tight against the perimeter of my base. Now I have 1 piece of twine on top of my spoke and 1 piece of twine under my spoke. The way that we show our students twining is like this. There's always 1 piece of twine over and 1 piece of twine under. So using the under-over method, the twine that's on top of my spoke is going to go under the next spoke. Remember to always push that twine close to the perimeter. And then find the next piece of twine that's over. And that piece of twine that's over is going to go under. Once you get to the corner, if there's a clip there, go ahead and take it off so it's out of your way. Making sure to keep everything tight against that perimeter. And now we're at the corner. This can be a tricky part. What we want to do is find the piece of twine that is under my last spoke. This piece of twine that's under is going to go into a space we call the parking lot. That's this square right here. So I'm going to bend it, put it into the parking lot, and I'm just going to hold it there for a moment. And then I'm going to direct my attention back on this piece of twine, the one that is over my last spoke. If this is over, it goes under. Making sure I turn that corner, keeping it tight to my perimeter. Once I've turned the corner, I can take this piece of twine out of the parking lot and back over my first spoke. It's over, so it goes under. I'm gonna go ahead and put my clip back on to keep everything in place and rotate my base. Same thing, find the piece of twine that is over my spoke. The one that is over goes under. Move the clip if it's in your way, and I'm at a corner again. The piece of twine that is under your spoke, this one here, is the one that should be going in the parking lot. I'm gonna hold it in the parking lot. The piece of twine that's over goes under. Once I've turned that corner, this twine can leave the parking lot and go right over that spoke, which means it will go under the next one. Keeping it tight to my perimeter, put my clip back on, and rotate my base. All right, so now that I'm back to where I started, and I'm back right here where I started my loop, I'm gonna take an end of my twine, and I'm simply gonna take it and just put it through one of these loops that I've already created. So poke it under just like that, and pull it through tightly. Same with the other piece of twine. Take the end, put it through the loop, and pull. Now, once that I have my twine through, it's going to hold it in place. I'm just going to snip some of this extra twine off, but I want to leave about an inch or 2 of this twine so it doesn't come unraveled. But once it is through the loop, your base is twined and locked into place and ready for the next step. So I have my short basket base here, and it's woven and ready to be twined. I have some twine soaking in water. I'm just gonna go ahead and take that out. And our twine is very long. So what we're gonna do, which is our first step, is find the two ends. Put those ends together and then just trace it with our finger to create a loop at the end of the twine. Once we have a loop, we're just gonna pinch it so that it's tight. With this loop, I'm going to slip it onto my third spoke. My third spoke is going to always be the one in the middle. So I can count 1, 2, 3. Slip that loop onto my third spoke and push it down all the way to the perimeter of my basket base. Now, I have my twine on my spoke, my third spoke, and there's one over and there's one under. So the way that we show our students twining goes like this, because we know there's always one piece of twine over our spoke and one under. So here I'm going to take the twine that is over, and I know because of our over-under weaving pattern that the one over goes under. Make sure to push it close to the base. Find my next piece of twine that's over, put it under. Now that I'm at a corner, my clip's in my way, so I'm going to take that off, set it aside. And this part can be tricky. I'm going to take the piece of twine that is under my spoke. So that's this one here. The under twine is going to go into what we call the parking lot. The parking lot is this square right here at the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and bend it over, put it into the parking lot, and I'm just going to hold it there with my finger for right now. The piece of twine that is over my last spoke is going to go under. Making sure to turn that corner sharply and push it close to the perimeter. Then I can take my piece of twine out of the parking lot, and we see that it is over my last spoke. So if it's over, it goes under. Pushing it close to my perimeter, I'm going to make sure just to put that clip back on the corner to make sure everything's in place and rotate my base. Continuing with that twining pattern, over, under, I'm going to keep twining my base. All right, now that I'm back to where I first started off, right at that original loop, I'm going to finish it off by taking one of the ends of my twine, and I'm just going to poke it through one of the loops I've already created. Just like that. I'm just going to pull it through tightly. That's going to lock that twine in place, and I'm going to do the same with the other piece. Put it through that loop and pull. Now that I've put those twines through the loop, it's going to hold my base in place. I'm just going to cut off some of this excess twine. I want to leave a little bit left so it doesn't come unraveled. So once I've trimmed it, my basket base is twined and securely in place.